My next guest is Gary Tomsic, who was on the show way back in 1965. Let's welcome Gary back.
Ooh. Well, hi, Bob.
How are you? How are you?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I've been through some kind of time machine or something.
Well, it may seem like a time machine because you were actually the second guest that I had on my show way back in '65. And we had you on because you were a young filmmaker at the time. I remember your parents brought you down to the station.
I couldn't drive at the time, as I remember.
That's right. And you made a beautiful little film, which we're going to show in just a few seconds here.
Well, I just want to, in honor of the show,
yes,
I've got the same sport coat that I wore on your show way back then. There's the College High logo right there for those of you out there that remember the College High shops in town. And I still fit in it, so I don't know what that says. It probably says I'm...
I was going to tell everyone how well you're doing now, but if it's... no, let's roll that very first film of yours, okay? That still plays well today, 30 years later.
You know, it does, but it's a curious thing. I've never been able to get any work from the R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company.
Is that right? They
Not a single
They don't answer your calls.
No,
huh?
I don't understand that.
You know, what that film did, it opened up a whole wave of films that I didn't know that was going out there with young people. You didn't have videotapes in those days. That was all done on 8mm.
Actually, that was 16mm. It
was that
pretty,
16?
Yeah,
you moved
it was difficult to get in the business as opposed to now where you can have these little camcorders that are fairly easy to get.
And one of the fellows you worked with, Dana Reems, is
Dana Reems, he's very successful at the Walt Disney Studio. His name goes by on The Lion King and Pocahontas and these other movies. And
just great.
He and I went to school together. And also the fellow that's in the commercial there is Dennis Marquardt, and he's out there somewhere watching tonight. And Dennis, sorry.
One of the things, a lot of films came from Stockton, and one time I went down there to judge them in a film festival, and their work was brilliant. And there was a fellow down there named Daryl Sevilla, who was just working with the kids, and I talked to him recently. He's with the Oakland school system now, and they're winning awards. So people are, and they continue to talk with movies, the young people today and so forth.
Plus, wasn't there another fellow in Modesto, a young kid named George
Lucas.
George Lucas.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, he used to watch your show, apparently.
This is a true story. I bumped into George Lucas on a Hollywood junket one time, and he came up to me and introduced himself and said that he was a fan of the show many years.
Really? I didn't know this.
Yeah. He used to watch it in Modesto. But tell us now, that from your amateur days, I know that you got a job working for Channel 3.
Well, and true enough, I owe that to you, Bob. Certainly you were instrumental in my getting hired here at Channel 3 back in 1968. And I spent 7 years here at Channel 3.
Gary, I'm going to have to interrupt you before Television takes over. If
Oh,
it already hasn't.
I understand, Bob.
We've got Jeff Wong waiting in the wings, and
I got
you've
carried away
had
a
a
little bit.
fantastic career, and good luck in the future.
Well, it's a pleasure being back on your show.
And your sport jacket is
Yeah, it's,
remarkable.